Hey guys, it's Jeb here, and today we are going to be going over a tutorial in Adobe After Effects on how to create advanced audio visualizers. You have probably seen my experimentation process on the main channel. And if you haven't noticed, the music channel is up now. So the video produced today will go up on the first mix video that I have probably posted by now as well. So yeah, let's get to Adobe After Effects. Now first, you want to import all of your stuff. So we've got our background, the music. For the song, we are going to be playing Blood by Getter and Ed Air, featuring Georgia Koo. So yeah, then you want to import whatever logos you have and whatever versions of the logo you have, depending on what effects you want to have your logo have, depending on what your logo is. So yeah, first we want to oh, and by the way, guys, get ready for quite a long tutorial, because this is quite a process of experimentation, trial and error, that kind of thing. If you've been working in Adobe After Effects for a little bit, you probably have already gotten used to that process. So first we want to drag that down into this little icon right here, and what that will do is create a new composition that is just as long as our song is. So let me check my volume here real quick and turn it down just a little bit so it doesn't blow you guys' eardrums out. So yeah, let's play the song real quick. So yeah, you've got the song, and yeah, if you guys have been paying attention to the same dubstep channel I do, known as Dubstep Getter, you've probably noticed this isn't that old of a song. It was released a few days ago. So we have that done. Let's move our picture up on top of the music layer, and we have that. And what we want to do is zoom out a little bit, choose this layer, and then expand the picture just a little bit so that the vibration effect doesn't have the picture expose the transparent background. So then we want to import our logo. Now the effect that my logo has is that as it gets bigger, it turns blue. So what we want to do is move the white version of the logo onto the top layer. Well, actually, we want to first put down the white version and then put the blue version over top that, and then do that same thing for the music, for the note right there. So once those are imported, it's a bit of a big logo, so what I usually do is turn the scale down to 50% for all of the layers. Sorry if I'm a bit jittery today, guys. I'm a little cold. There's been a cold front moving through here. Yeah, it is currently freezing outside in the middle of spring. What do you mean speak in words that they understand?
I have no idea what you'd be saying.
Well, that's because you don't work in Adobe After Effects, Oreo. So yeah. So next we want to go up to Layer, and then go over to New, and then Solid, and then create just a black solid. And then we want to copy and paste it 2 more times. Then rename them treble. Bass left and bass right. And this will be the visualizer ring with the rainbow effect that I have on my videos. So yeah, then what we want to do for all of these layers is go to Effect, Generate Audio Spectrum, and then we want to do that for the rest of these. If you've already done the effect, it should be right here already on the top portion of the effect menu. So as you can see, we have all of these different audio layer bars. We will be messing around with those in a little bit, but for now let's focus on getting the background vibration effect. So what we want to do here is, first of all, close off these, and then second of all, go to Effect. I do believe it is in Distort, and then go down to Magnify, then turn the size up, and then turn down the magnification, and then turn the opacity down to 50. And what that will do is, as the magnification moves up and down, we get this blur effect that we will link to the audio amplitude. So in order to get the audio amplitude, here let's remove the visualization of those layers for now, so we can just focus on this one. But what the audio amplitude is how loud that portion of sound is. So what you want to do is right click, then go to Keyframe Assistant and click Convert Audio to Keyframes, and it will create this null object labeled audio amplitude. And what a null object is it is a object on the screen that nobody can see, that is usually used to control certain aspects of a video. So then what we want to do is open up the little menu right here, go to, or open up Effects, Magnify, and then what you want to do is hold down Alt, and then press this stopwatch icon, and what that will open up is the expression bar. We will be working with expressions quite a bit. So what you want to do now is type in 100 plus, and then you're going to get this little thing right here. Make sure that you do not do what I just did, and forget to open up the audio amplitude menu. So don't use these right here. Don't use left and right channel. You might as well just delete them, because weird things happen when you use those. What you want to use is both channels. Open up that, and you get the slider. So you have your 100 plus part of the expression here, then you use your pick whip and go up and select the slider, and this will create a expression that means the opacity, or the part of the picture that is currently at 50% opacity is going to be at 100% magnification plus the audio amplitude. Now 100 plus is not actually the number that we want, depending on the song. Depending on the song itself, you want it to be a number that does not necessarily make the background move around too much. So what you can do is turn it down from 100 to say 60 is what I usually use. Now keep in mind that 60 will not shrink it because 100 is the max size for the magnification. Well, actually the magnification is the max size of the magnification is equal to the size of the overall picture. So the audio amplitude the overall number that the slider is at has to go over 60 in order, or over 100 in order to start actually expanding the blurred part of the image. So yeah, that took me a little bit to figure out, and dang it, fit. Okay, thank you. And then so yeah, there's that effect all good to go. So as you can see, we have it affected, or being affected by the audio amplitude. Very good. So next, what we want is the wiggle effect. So we want to go over to here to effects and presets. Hey Oreo,
Yeah.
can you check the heat of the computer, please?
Yeah.
And thank you. So what we want to go is, where we want to go is effects and presets. Then we type in wiggle.
Oh my gosh, it's on fire.
Shut up. Then we.
I'm not joking. It's pretty hot.
Whatever. And then you have this effect known as wiggle position. What you want to do is drag that onto your wallpaper layer, and then you get a new effect down here called wiggle position. So you have your wiggles per second, which basically affects how many twitches are in 1 second. And then you have your wiggle percent in pixels, which affects how much it moves in 1 second, or how much it moves in one wiggle per second. So you want to press Alt, or hold down Alt, and then tap, or press the stopwatch icon for both of these. Then for wiggle, the number I usually use is negative 30 for the pixel percentage. Then we pick whip, or no, wait, not pick whip yet. We press plus, and then we pick whip that up onto the slider right here. And then we do the same right here, except for the number will be, say, 35 plus, and then we pick whip that up here. So what this means is that the audio amplitude will have to go through, or will have to equal 36 for this for the wiggles per second before it will actually start moving the image at all. So it basically means the same thing for wiggle in pixels, except, you know, it affects how much it moves. So let's just do a quick preview real here, or right here. And it's working pretty good to me. So yeah, once again, depending on the song, you might want to have these numbers be different things so that it won't over affect it. So what we want to do next is, since we have the wallpaper all taken care of, is we are going to add the spinning effect to the gear, and then the progressive blue shade, plus the expansion and the contraction of the icon depending on the audio amplitude. So let's start with the gear moving, or gear spinning, since that will be the easiest to do at the moment. So what we want to do is open up the menu for transform on the first portion of the music logo. Then we want to hold down Alt, then tap the stopwatch icon for the rotation, and we will get the expression bar. And then what we want to do is type in time times 100. Has no what? 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 I don't understand. Oh wait, no. Capital T. I forgot about that. Yeah, make sure your T isn't capital, otherwise you will get an error. I don't know why, it just works like that. So yeah, and then we want to do that same thing to the one on top. So open up the expression bar, type in time times 100. And so as we move through the video, it starts spinning. Now, as you can see, the icon is still blue, and it's only supposed to be blue whenever it's only supposed to start being blue once the icon starts expanding. So what we want to do is turn down the opacity for now, and we will mess around with that later. Oh, jeez. I turned down the opacity for both of them. Don't turn down the opacity for both of them like I just did. Don't do it. You want to see at least the white part. So, yeah. Shut up, Oreo. So, yeah. Now we want to turn down the opacity for the blue icon. And so that we get this. And now to do the expansion. So what we want to do is open up the menu for each of them, then press Alt, and then open the stopwatch icon for scale. And then we type in, right now I have the size of mine set to 50, so I want to type in 50 plus, and then pick whip that up to the slider. Right here. And that will, are you serious?
What?
I don't understand.
This is supposed to be a tutorial. You should know what to do.
Something's not right here. Okay, I'm gonna pause real quick and figure out what's wrong. So I figured out what's wrong. You want to type in temp space equals space, and then go into right here after the space, and then type in what you want in your expression, and bada bing, bada boom, it works. So you want to copy and paste that to the scale expression for the rest of your the rest of the layers for your logo. So, oh wait, nope, that's rotation. Don't want that. Scale. Paste it. Click out. Never press enter. That will delete the expression, and that's not good because it won't work the way you want it to. So, scale, paste, and then transform, scale, paste. And there we go. As you can see, it hasn't moved at all because, well, we haven't moved. So, yeah. As you can see, it starts expanding to the audio amplitude. So, next, let's work with these little things right here. So, let's first start with the bass left, since that will be kind of the marking place for the bass right. So what you want to do for all of these actually is go over to effects and presets, and then type in polar, and then you should get a thing in apparently the distort effects known as polar coordinates. Drag that onto each of your visualizers or your audio spectrums, and now you will have this little effect right here called polar coordinates. So we will be working with the interpolation here in a second, but as you can see, oh wait, I have the wrong thing selected. As you can see, as you can see, it kind of reacts weird to the polar coordinates at the moment. So what you want to do is go to type of conversion, and then type in, you should have a little menu right here with the choice polar to rect selected. What you want to do is select rect to polar, and then turn up the interpolation so that you get the circular effect right here. Now, for added visibility, we will turn up the frequency bands and turn up the thickness just a little bit. And there we go. Now, as you can see, a little bit of it at the top is not there, so we won't be needing this half of it, since this is the left portion. So we will turn down the end point all the way down until this circle gets to this circle. So make sure to fine-tune it once it gets there. Looks about right to me. So then turn up the start point so that it reaches up there. So as we go through it, there's no effects that it currently has. And now that I think about it, we actually want all of these layers to be behind the thing right here. So let's just move all of these real quick. And there we go. So first, let's have the expansion effect to the audio amplitude. So let's go to bass left, transform, scale, and then type in 100 plus, and then pick whip that up to the slider, and it should start expanding. Aha! See, it's that same error. I made the same mistake again. So, like I said before, you want to pick whip it first. Or type in temp equals and then do your expression. So 100 plus this comp.layer audio amplitude dot effect both channels slider temp. So yeah, and then it should start expanding along with the logo. Make sure that your logo isn't too big, because as it starts expanding, depending on how big it is, it will start expanding times the actual size of the logo. So if your logo is too big, it will actually start to overlap the audio spectrum, and that's not something you want. So yeah, let's close this off for now, and then keep working on it. So we've got audio layer up here. What you want to do is choose the menu right here, base left, and this is your audio layer, or the layer that it reacts to. You want to choose the layer with your song on it, so it will start reacting to that. Now let's do a quick RAM preview so we can get a good read on where a bass hit is, because finding a place where the bass is hitting will help us to figure out where to will help us figure out a good measuring tool of the left, or of the overall bass spectrums on the side. Because if you have watched any of my older videos, the bass left and right channels have, or they're just bass with the treble ring around both of the bass rings. Okay, so now that we got a good read on where the bass is, let's go to, say, right here. See, you can see that little part right there. Let's turn off the visibility of the logo for now, since we're already done working with that. So then we want to turn down the start frequency, first of all, then turn down the end frequency to just about here, right here. So then turn up your maximum height, and as you can see, it still doesn't look exactly like it's from my videos. So let's fine-tune it where it is right here. I do believe it's, say, 350 where I have mine. Yeah, that looks about right. So to get the rainbow effect that I have on my videos, turn up the hue interpolation, and there you go. You get a nice rainbow effect that affects the band. So yeah, turn down the softness, because we want people to see the audio layer, not just well, not through it. Then we just leave the thickness alone. A couple other things you don't want to mess with are audio duration and audio offset. They just completely mess up the thing, in my opinion. I don't know what you guys are going for, but whatever it is, after this tutorial, I'm sure it will be awesome. So, next, what we want to do is open up this. Then we choose Effects and Transform. Then you Effects, copy, and paste that to base right. And then Transform, copy, and paste that to base right. And then turn off the visibility for that, and turn on the visibility for that. So once again, polar correct, interpolation up, and there you go. So yeah, effects, let's retry copying and pasting it. Effects, copy, paste, there we go. Transform, copy, paste, and yeah, so now it's got the exact same settings as the bass left audio layer. That's not what we want, because we want that to be on the other side. So let's turn down the start point until it reaches the circle, and there we go. And then let's turn up the end point to where it basically starts cutting it off. So then if we turn on the bass left, it is identical. You're going to end up with this little bit right here. Don't worry about that. So yeah, let's do treble real quick. Turn on visibility for that. Polar coordinates are already there. Rectipolar, interpolation, up. So we want this one to be different. We want it to be just treble. So let's turn that to the audio layer. Turn up the frequency bands. Then real quick, let's just turn up the hue interpolation really high. And then turn down the soft. Well, actually for this we might want to leave the softness as it is at 50. So, and we turn up the maximum height because, you know, you like high amounts of effectiveness on your videos, I hope. And let's basically just have it cut off that bass portion right there, since the bass left and bass right portions of the video, or of the visualizers, are covering that part for us. So we are at a portion of the video, or of the song, where there's not a lot of treble. So yeah, we just turn to a different place, and there you go. Right here is about good. So let's turn up the maximum height even more for more reactivity, and then we want that to expand to it as well. Oh yeah, endpoint. Turn that up. There you go. Now you got this good solid ring. Then you go to transform, scale, then you pick whip that up to your slider, and then type in 100 plus. This comp layer audio amplitude dot effect, both channels, slider, temp. So yeah, and there you go. That's pretty much the tutorial, guys. So I'm gonna leave it to do a pre-render for a little bit for you guys to get a little taste of it. Oh, you know what I forgot? The opacity.
Alright.
Shut up, Brennan. So yeah, open up your slider again. Sorry about this, guys. Then you want to go to whatever effect ring or effect layer you have for your logo. Then press Alt. No, hold down Alt. Press the thing for opacity. Then drag the pick whip up there, and then type in 0 plus, and there you go. You have the blueness effect. And then we copy and paste that to the same expression layer as the other portion. Oops, I pressed copy again by accident. Oh well. Hey, seriously. And there you go. So I'm going to leave it to pre-render for a little bit so you guys can get a little taste of what it's going to look like. And yeah. So here we go, guys. Here's the preview. Looks like it turned out pretty well. Don't you think, Oreo? Yeah, sure. What is that supposed to mean?
I'm picky.
What do you mean you're picky? Oh God. For those of you who did not see that, which means all of you, he just tried sticking his finger up my nose. Oreo slinger, everybody.
I sling more than just Oreo.
Oh my god! You sling more than just Oreos. That is disgusting. I swear, sometimes the jokes that come out of my brother's mouth are terrible.
Oh, they are.
So, yeah, that was, this is going to be part of the video that I release, for the first video on the new music channel. And there's one part of the video that, that you should always end with in After Effects: actually exporting the video. Now keep in mind, this can be very CPU consuming and very time consuming. So I'm not actually going to render it. I'm going to do that tomorrow, but I'll just show you guys how to render it so that you don't have the sound, you don't have the program get rid of the sound whenever you export it. Because whenever I first started exporting things from Adobe After Effects, it got rid of the sound completely. I don't know why that's the preset for Adobe After Effects. It just is. So let's go to File, Export, Add to Render Queue. Then we go to Output Module, click on the word that says Lossless, and you'll get this little menu that has options for your file type, post-render action, which basically, you know, I haven't messed around with that. So you can
have what it's supposed to do after you render it.
Well, yeah, but I haven't messed with it. You have your video output, so you have your different channels of how it will render the colors, your depth, which for me is only millions of colors, your colors, you can resize it if you want, crop it, all sorts of stuff. What you want to do is click the box that says audio output next to it, and then what I usually do is turn up the
kilohertz.
The audio
Kilohertz.
You turn up the audio frequency so that you get higher quality audio out from the video.
96 kilohertz.
Yeah, exactly. That's actually quite high. That's like studio quality stuff. So yeah, you press OK, and then you click on the Output 2 module, which will basically you know, let you choose what folder to export it to, and name the video, which will automatically be named after the composition itself. As you can see right here, I have the songs I've exported. This was actually the last one, so I was like, hey, I might as well kill two birds with one stone and show you guys how to do this like I was planning to.
Were the birds vultures?
Yes, they were vultures.
Okay.
Show you guys how I do this like I was planning to while preparing the last song before I run it through Windows Movie Maker and make the mix. So we've got Chasing Ghosts by Barely Alive featuring Spock and Directive, Windpipe featuring the Raga Twins, Get a Remix by Barely Alive again, Negatoro featuring Foxkey, My Friend the Yellowtail, Take This by Radask, Space Buccaneers 4i Remix. I can't remember who that's by at the moment. It'll be in the description of the video once I post it. And Remember by Spaghetti. And then once again right here we have Blood by Getter and Adair featuring Georgia Koo. So yeah, most of the time you want to have your file type be selected as a AVI, because it seems that that's the favored format of video by a lot of different programs, such as Bandicam, because it comes with a program called Bandifix, which will fix any AVI
Corruption.
it'll fix any AVI files that are corrupted.
Sadly, we have to use that a lot.
Yeah, we have to use that quite a bit because, we have a overheating problem with the computer at the moment. But, whatever. It will recover, Bandifix will recover as much video from the AVI as it can.
Most of the time, half the video.
Yeah, most of the time just half the video, but that's what happens, I suppose. So you press save, and then you press render. So there you go, guys. Hope you found the tutorial useful, and I will hopefully see you in future videos and tutorials. Later, guys. Have a nice day.